look. But here we go. All right, first slide. I want my graveyard decks doing good, okay? All right, I want the boogeyman himself. I want the boogeyman. I want life from the loam. Those are just top tier cards. Persist, help out Reanimator, okay? Cabal Therapy, also another good one. Master of Death, it's another one that works well for Dredge, works well for discarded cards. It just needs it. I think Unearth's just a really good beater because right now we have uh No One Left Behind or whatever it's called. The 5 mana one that turns to 2 mana if it costs 3 or less. We have a bunch of things that reanimate things at 3. Reanimate things at 3 for 2 mana. I just want something that costs 1 and it gets back to Luris. Bloodghast, aggro, Golgari, rolls in graveyard decks, all that good stuff. And then Gak. You gotta get the classic. You gotta get the Gak. You gotta bring Gak back. We need something. We need a good, solid. We need another Brokus. Brokus is sick. He's cool, but we need another one. I think Hogak. Like this, it's no contesting on any of these cards. I think they're all just really good, and I think not a single one would break anything. If we're gonna break something, it's closer to Grave Troll, but even that's just it's 1 out of 100. So like, eh. All right. So second slide. You had our archetype defining slides. Slides that or slides cards that will make an archetype that they either slot cleanly into another one or pretty much make their own. So a pod, bring to light. They're the same card. Okay. If you're podding, you're playing bring to. I think you're playing these together. I don't know. I don't play pod. Can we just? But yeah. But now okay. And I got Madcap Experiment. I'm pretty sure we have the boy himself, Platinum Empyrean. If we don't get Platinum Empyrean in here, because Madcap's sick. Shaping it would be really nice because we have a couple really good hits off of it. Uh, Grags, the Unstoppable Juggernaut, Portal to Phyrexia, and God Pharaoh's Gift. Even though the last one isn't as good, I think this will be really good because then it's of course it's a free roll, but if you're playing most decks just incidentally have artifacts. So now you have to kind of build around it so you have artifact tokens, but not real artifacts. So I think this would be good. And then Asmo, Daredevil, Underworld Cookbook. You thought I was gonna say the name. I was not. I think you gotta have all three. I think this is a miss straight up from Kaladesh Remastered. And I think not having this would be really nice to have for Arista Scraps, discard decks. You can make food a thing, just all this type of stuff. It's all just good. I think, and then like I don't know, we have Finale of Devastation, so that's a really cool thing that you can do there. I think this just whole package is sorely missing that could make a deck itself. Next slide, best slide, my opinion. Well, last slide's also really good. Hate. I think we need to up the hate because right now, if you're playing 4 color, you can run all non-basic lands, and pretty much except for like aggressive decks, which splashing is kind of free in those decks as well. Except for aggressive decks, there's no like downside to running to just being greedy. So I don't think there is a reason why you shouldn't be greedy. Honestly, like I think it's objectively correct to play Minsc and Boo in every deck that is green X or red X because it's the best card in the format. If you're playing black and blue, it's probably just objectively correct to turn it into a Thoracle deck. And there's no downside to playing these super greedy mana bases. So obviously, we need it. I think opposition agent. If we say, hey, we're not banning channel, we really like channel in the format. I think black decks, well, they have Duress, Inquisition of Kozilek, and uh, Thoughtseize. But I think another instant speed way to attack with the opponent, attack the opponent's library, and attack at an access that they thought they were safe on would be good with opposition agent. Blood Moon, Magus the Moon. That's non-basic land hate. If you're like, Blood Moon's too strong, give some Magus. Magus is too strong, Charmo. And I think Charmo, because it's Charmo's just a solid beater. Okay, I mean, it can maybe discount it like a couple times. So, but it's a 5 mana 4/4 flyer, and then it pops a non-basic land, and I think that is needed to just punish any type of punishment for these greedy 4 or 5 color mana bases like Cat Boozy is playing just freaking greedy. Blue, red, black, green, 4 color, went 3-2, 4-1 in the last tournament Saturday, the 9th. Like, okay, sure, whatever. Wasteland, all right. Wasteland, you don't need to technically, you don't need Wasteland because Wasteland's pretty big. Wasteland is like, if you got like here, that Wasteland's like, well, it's a little up there, okay? Give a sinkhole, okay? You don't need sinkholes. Sinkholes kind of nonsense. We don't want to just be blowing up lands, willy nilly on 2 mana. Sure. Give us Fulminator Mage, okay? Give us an alchemized sinkhole. Give us a stink hole. Give us stink hole, and it only pops a non-basic land. And give us Fulminator Mage. Fulminator Mage, I think, is the perfect card. It is not hyper aggressive. It's a nice little mid-range thing, and it goes in red and black decks, and it destroys non-basic lands. It does everything you want to do in these types of decks, and then you can sometimes recur it and blow up 2 lands, but otherwise it's like extremely fair. Going to the next slide. Also, we need to stop these. It's about combo. Aggro's really strong. All right. I think control needs a little help. Prismatic Ending. Of course, that's another thing where you're like, Prismatic Ending, you need to play multiple colors. Sure. I'm not saying you can't play multiple colors. I think you should just be punished for playing them, but you should also have benefits. Benefits, you have all strong cards. You get Prismatic Ending. Now that can go up to 5 instead of, 1 or 2. Boom. Dress Down. It's another way to attack Thoracle, attack these creature decks. I think it's a card that I was extremely shocked it's not already on Arena. The same with Damn. Damn, black-white control. I think Esper is a thing that's played. I'm not sure. I'm not looking at anything on my other monitors. But if it is, we need Esper, okay? And Damn is a good way for it's either a good just 2 mana, it's a good Doomblade. I think we just need a straight up Terminate in the format. No like weird conditions where it's like it's got to be a creature, but it's got to be sneezing on a Tuesday to be able to destroy it. No, I just want to 2 mana pop something. We need that. And I think the Overload to have a flexible card, more flexible cards in the format is very good. So I think we need Damn in the format. Once again, Flame Tongue Kavu. You got to give it, let's get that boy big in there. Look at that. You got to get FTK in there. It's a little yearling, but still. 2 mana, pop something for 2. New players get to learn the fun feeling of, hey, you actually have to deal damage to something with your FTK. Because turns out it's not a May. I think it's a good learning experience for new players. It's good for old players, and it's good removal on a thing. So it's a nice 2-for-1. And then Magmatic Sinkhole, I think that if with like Random Realm Breaker, what's my boy's name? People want Oko to get off the ban list. They're insane, okay? Also want Teferi, also, once again, insane. But if you want these things off the ban list, you gotta have red. Red needs a way to deal with them that's not just attacking. And I think that Magmatic Sinkhole is the way, because it deals 5 damage for 6, but it's never 6. It's got Delve, and Delve's most busted ability in the freaking game. Nobody believes me. I called it. Okay, I called it back when Khans of Tarkir came out. Delve is busted. I call it. Delve. It's busted. We need Delve. We need it. We need this card. I think this would be extremely good for the format. It would allow decks to just, it would allow aggro decks to bust through 5 drops. Of course, aggro you shouldn't just be like, oh, aggro can't beat late game stuff, so it needs help to beat late game stuff. Sure, there needs to be checks and balances, but I believe that allowing red X to not just die to an X5 is good. And it's just a really good delve thing. I think it's like, it's like the most pedestrian. It's, it's not gonna break anything. It's not like dig through time or treasure cruise. It's like it's a removal spell. It's a reactive card. It's not proactive, so it's not gonna bust anything. And then the the last slide we have here is the nonsense slide. Okay, and we're gonna start off here. Blue black. Blue black. I don't know what blue black does. Blue black does not have a color. It does not have an identity in Gladiator. Okay. Ninjas. That's what it needs. Okay. Give me freaking Fallen Shinobi, Yuriko. You could do ninjas. You could do, just damage. You could do tempo. Any of that. Give me that stuff. Give it to me. Okay. Dark Depths, Thespian Stage. Thespian Stage be a nice land to have. I don't think there's many things that can do it, but Dark Depths, Thespian Stage now makes lands a thing, and it's not unbeatable. It's not unbeatable. We have lots of bounce, exile, sacrifice effects. So every deck, I think except like green, is able to stop it effectively, but it still only makes a 20/20 flying. It doesn't even have trample. So green can block it all day with little dorky, reach guys. Awesome. It's not busting anything. I think it's really good. Those actually would pair perfectly with Titania. Land goes from anywhere, make a 5/3 elemental, returns a land to the graveyard to the battlefield. I think a nice, like, solid green mid-range threat that can grow, along with a good fetch, because right now we have Fabled Passage, and that card sucks. No one likes playing Fabled Passage. It's so bad. But having another fetch land would be extremely nice for landfall with cards that care about that. Titania, if we ever get both Titanias, actually, the other Titania 3 mana, stuff like that. I think that making the mana better for basic lands and helping out 2-color decks would be good, or will be good. So, because 3-color decks, sure, they can play it. If they're playing Fable, they'll get better. But 4-color decks, 4 and 5-color decks probably won't be playing Prismatic. But then again, I don't play 4 and 5-color decks. I'm not a degenerate. Oh, I'm joking. All right, here we go. This one is kind of, I'm a little iffy on it. We got savor the moment, okay? Is a time walk. You skip your untap step. It's not breaking anything. It goes in like 3 decks. 3 decks. Fires of Invention. Don't even think that's a deck. Enigmatic. Fires of Invention and Reclamation. Wilderness Reclamation. That's the word. Wilderness Reclamation. 2 decks. And then maybe somebody makes some weird infinite tap untap, combo with it. Doesn't matter. I think another a cheap time walk would not be bad. Then let me get my girls in here. Shardless, Bloodbraid. These have to be in here because they're cool cards, and I like playing the colors of Teamer. I take no questions. I will take no comments on this. And then we take this one, the best card. Let's bring this forward. Best card on the list right here. Okay, so Fouled Horn Dread Wolf Herald. I was really mad we didn't get this in the set when we got Minskin Boo and the Commander Legends. But look at this, 3 mana, 3/3. Whenever you cast a spell from exile or a land enters from exile, create a 2/2. Then you can just discard a card, exile the top of your library. You can play it this turn. I think this just a good this is just a good card. I think this would be a nice thing for red and green decks to have. It is. You're probably laughing right now. You're like, hey, you just like this card because you like red and green. Yes. Also, getting things from casting it fuels itself. It makes wolf tokens, and there's a number of cards that exile that care about things like that exile things from your library, such as expressive iteration, light up the stage, and the what's the 2 mana exile 2 cards, play them next turn. I don't remember what the names are. I just think it'd be cool, personally, and for Bard class, but I don't play that. I play I play bad decks. I don't play good decks. But yeah, that those are my thoughts. Yeah, it's about what? About 17 minutes here? Yeah, those are my thoughts. I think really the main thing is better hate. So if you would take away anything from this video, give me some better non-basic land hate, okay? I need something to hate on non-basic land, need something to hate on combo. We need more better removal. That's can't just slot into monocolor decks. Like 2-color decks should get removal that is good for 2-color decks. Like mono, okay, these aren't 2-color, but still. Multicolored cards, control card. I think Dress Down is actually it will be the perfect card to have. Just going back up in reverse order now. Again, going back up. Shape Anew. Would love to see me a Shape Anew deck. Oh my goodness. I would eat a cow. A whole cow. Just straight up swallow. Oh my gosh. We're rambling now, but still. Shape Anew. Would love to get me a Shape Anew pod. So surprised we didn't get a actually good alchemy pod. We got the one that seeks. It's so bad. Ugh. We got like 16 pods, and they're both okay. We got an evolving door, which goes up by color, and we got the seek pod, and they're both bad. They're both terrible. Don't play them. And then we got, I think Bring to Light would actually be really good for 5, 3, 4, 5 color decks to have another way to search things out and just play a more value and oriented game plan, so they have game against aggro. And then I think just graveyard. Any deck that like utilizes the graveyard. Dredge, Reanimator. I think those are it. Dredge or Reanimator. I think those need better cards. Specifically for Dredge, it needs actual Dredge cards and good cards. But Reanimator would do very well. I don't think, maybe it would bust something. But Persist, I think it will be good enough. The best, there's only a couple non-basic or non-legendary creatures that come back that are pretty good. Sarah's Emissaries being the big one. And then the last, and then I would like to see like a 3-mana Reanimate. One, or one black. Return a creature, lose life equals to its CMC. Straight up. Just throwing that out there. I would like to see it. I think Reanimator to be a thing, like not just a. Sometimes we reanimate stuff. Sometimes we don't. I think Reanimator would be good. Also, dang, shit. All right. Hottest take. Give me an Oath of Druids as well. Give me an Oath of Druids. Yeah, those you saw them. Those are my cards. I would love to see I would like to see all these cards, but if we get one from each of these slides on here, boom, be perfect. Yeah, that's about it. We'll come up with another video later.